Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, today, Sunday, July 11th, and if you look the weather today, and it is pretty hot here, and if you look the last year, the same, and the previous years, 100 years backward, if you look the very condition of the day, it's mostly the same. And even in the future, mostly it's going to be the same like that. And but at the same time, when you look at the day, after you separate this everything, and when it comes to the day, so there is a line that you can see with the weather, with the environment, with the nature. There, according to the season, there is something same keep happening. And at the same time, every day there is something special happen. So as you know, today, the billionaire Richard Branson, and he went to the space, the very first time in the human history, and he took a step forward to start space traveling. And after 17 years, huge project, today himself, he's the first person that went to the space with the Virgin Galactic, that Unity spaceship. And it is a huge step. And I was listening to that one scientist. And from now, the entire human mind shifting to different level. So as example, when we now driving the car and stuck in traffic, and maybe the people start to imagine more and more, not to just get into the road, but to just to find a way how you can use the space. So like that, and it giving a jump start to transform people to different level. So this is the power of human mind. It always happened from the generations to generation, from far away, it keep happening. And once a while, it's jump over. So today is a kind of like the day that we experience. And you will see all over the world. And when the newspapers come, this is going to be one of the major news. And other thing is the England lose, and the Italy won the Euro Cup. So winning and losing, and at the same time transforming the innovations and development, and jumping from generation to the different level of life. But at the same time, we're struggling with winning and losing. So even another thing is this, even though that he went to space, After all this, within few minutes, he came back to the earth. So then we have to remember this is the base for this human life. And in this base, the life that you experience. So don't depend on the day or the environment or the nature, because it is there. And don't depend on the events. Don't depend on the winning and losing. Don't depend on certain kind of what we call the big news. Why? Because it always happening. But the day that you spend today, that you feel like you are alive, one day it's not going to happen. The day that you experience today, you will never find again. Then the moment that you have, if you caught up in that all that events and the situations and the things happening around us, and sometimes it helps you to forget your existence. You are very limited. So within this all, in this very limited time, you have to get the best out of your own life. If you're depending on the outside events, winning and losing and innovations, what will happen? It always going, one day it's going to bring a disappointment. Not only the disappointment, that dependency take you to create another life to come back, because that dependency itself create a desire to depend on it. So then you have to, even though we experience this, even though we admire, appreciate, even though we see it is very important and no one can stop this and it's keep happening, we have to remember the moment we have, the moment you have, it's not going to happen every day. It's not going to be here like this every day. So then you have to bring your awareness to inside you also. So when you able to understand that and look into that and recognizing what is happening this inside, and that understanding will help you to complete your mission. In conventionally, we become successful with the different missions. So like that, this is space travel. And it was a very successful mission. But at the same time, and for the Italy, for the soccer team, it was a very successful, mission for them. But at the same time, what is the success for you end of the day? Then you have to look into. So that's why we keep practice the meditation. So, because meditation allows you to slowly develop this profitable skill inside you to understand your life within yourself. That understanding slowly detaches that dependency from the outside events. And that is where you become more comfortable within your own life. In that comfort, it is very necessary for you to bring that calmness, satisfaction, tranquility state to you. Because otherwise your mind always look for something and you get disturbed. So if you get disturbed, then with that disturbed mind, whatever come out as a bodily, verbally, mentally action, it always going to become disturbed. And it like magnet, it will go and clinging to another disturbed mind or the action. It's like a network. We are living in a flux. It's everything. It's when it comes to the action, it's finally it is energy. The water has power to connect the water and find the water. And the iron has ability to connect to the iron. Electricity has ability to connect to the electricity or the current. Fire has ability to join and find the fire. The wind has ability to invite the wind. The same mechanism within yourself. Your bodily, verbally, mentally actions has ability to invite another bodily, verbally, mentally action. But in the surface level, even though it look like action, it deeply has a different connection. That connection is your intention. So according to your intention, if it is related with the greed, hatred, or the delusion, if there is that whatever the bodily, verbally, mentally action you develop, so another person has the same kind of greed, hatred, and the delusion intention, and it has power to bring and find the connection, harmony, and it harmonizes slowly. So that is where we bound each other. That is where, without words, sometimes we build up a communion, the community. We go with the same kind of action. So that is why you have to look into your mind and be very mindful with the intention that you have. Once you recognize that, once you have the ability to see your own thoughts, remember, it is a great success that you gain as a human being. And you anywhere in the samsara, you will not go down and you're not going to go into any difficulty because you don't want it. So that is one of the greatest protection that you have. So that's why through the meditation, little by little, you develop that method in you. And when you develop that method, as a result of that, what will happen? You slowly start to accumulate more and more the wisdom related to your practice. So when it comes to that, and as you know, 5 hindrance and block the enlightenment or the tranquility state. So when the mind becomes tranquilized, and what is happening? Your 5 hindrance start to weak. So when the 5 hindrance become stronger, your tranquility state become weaker. So when through the one pointness, through the primary mental object, what we does, we trying to develop the tranquility state, and as a result of that, five hindrance become weaker. And then once the five hindrance completely slow down to the zero level, and your tranquility state become higher. But that's not enough for you to attain to liberation or the enlightenment. That tranquility state will take you to a samadhi, and you can gain an undisturbed mind. And after once you get out of that, then again you will just get into the ordinary existence. So then there is a sutta called Avarana Sutta. Avarana is kind of like a blockage, blocking, closing, resisting, holding. In this Avarana Sutta, Buddha mentioned, if anybody, so remember, as practitioner yourself, your main purpose is gaining liberation. So in tranquility state, as an ordinary person, you have to be a very successful person. No doubt about it. But our purpose is not just settle down there, but get into something higher than this ordinary life, which we call the liberation or the transformation. So for that, there are 6 things inside us. It always blocks us, not allow us to go towards the wisdom. So once you become very clear, and then there is a method you can open these blockages. You can get out of these 6 blockages, and then that will help for you to enter to the liberation. Even though you have good tranquility state, that's not allow you to enter to the liberation. That's why before the Buddha, there were many rishis, many yogis. There are many meditation practitioners and attain to dhyana, high mental powers. And they used to perform even great miracles, but still they couldn't find the Nibbana, the total transformation. Totally. So through the vipassana, that is what the Buddha introduced. So then we have to remember always, even though we have this all ordinary success and conventional life, our purpose should be not to just settle down here, but using all these skills, go towards that, our final mission. So for that, in that Avarana Sutta, the very first thing what the Buddha said, Kamavarana. So that means to attaining to liberation or the Nibbana. Kamavarana. So the Kamavarana means your karma, your previous actions, and bring you to the moment of reactions. So in this very moment, so whatever that you keep doing in this very lifetime, whatever you keep doing can block your liberation. So as example, if you kill your mother or the father, and there is no Buddha to kill, it's difficult to find an enlightened master to kill like that. But if you kill your mother and father, And in this very life, you cannot attain to liberation. So that is one thing, that is an example. So like that, there are many possibilities in you. That anything can happen yourself within your hands. And it can completely take you out of the journey. So then you have to come to very conventional level of understanding, basically to practice what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad, what is profitable and what is unprofitable. And then when the society, according to the society, and whatever the moral practice that society follow, we have to accept it. And we cannot challenge for the fundamental human rights or the human qualities. We have to accept it. So Kamavarana means your actions, and sometimes can block your own path. So then you have to watch yourself always. That's why that this path based with the moral practice, sila, precepts. And at the same time, you cannot violate any kind of fundamental human qualities. So you can claim this is my life, I do whatever I want. But remember, once you develop something in your mind, it is very difficult to get out. It is very difficult to get out from our own mind. We can get out from, other things very easy. But it is very difficult for us to get out from our own mind. So then that is why you become well disciplined yourself with your own thoughts. And in that way, when you develop that discipline, you have to look around the society and the world and see and get the example and what other people conventionally follow and what other people appreciate. You cannot go against that. So that way, and your actions in a certain level bring a confidence to you. And that confidence itself create a comfort for you to sit even and comfortably and practice yourself. Otherwise, when you break these human qualities within yourself, what will happen? You develop a disturbed mind. And always you have the doubt. And always you have the fear. So one blockages, one hindrance is Kamavarana. Your actions can block you, not anybody else. So then you have to look into that and be very careful. When you do something, look into yourself in case if this effect for my liberation, what will happen? After long journey, you got this human life. And maybe we don't know when we again going to become human. No one can guarantee about it. Even forget about the next time, even we don't know tomorrow we're going to see like this, hear like this, smell like this, or feel like this. Who knows tomorrow we can think like this way? No. So then the moment you have Always remember, don't allow your own actions to sabotage your liberation, destroy your enlightenment. Guide yourself very well. Take care your inside very well. Conventionally and according to the outside time, situations, environment, people, you may go with that. But always remember your inner clarity. Take care of yourself. That will help you not to develop the greed, hatred, and the delusion. Otherwise, when the greed, hatred, and the delusion arise in you, and maybe it has power to destroy your wisdom, and then with that ignorance, maybe you do a bodily, verbally, or mentally action, that action completely take you out of the path. So one is Kamavarana. The second one is Kleshavarana. So the Kleshavarana means that mental formations as roots we have within us. That's why even though conventionally you know this is right, this is wrong, and this is not good to do, and this we should do, like that we know basically, but still it's not happening inside us. Sometimes invisibly there is a current push us towards to do things. Things happen within us again and again, and we determine, I'm not going to do this again anymore. I will not going to say this anymore. This is enough for me. So like that, but still again it happened from us. That happened because of the mental formations. So even though in the surface level that the thoughts that you experience is like the waves in the ocean, but underneath that waves, the water, there is a deeper current happening. So the volitions, mental formations, your phenomena is kind of like that. So whatever the thoughts come, underneath that thoughts, there is a habit in you. There is a desire in you. There is a ignorance in you. There is a greed in you. There is a wisdom in you. So you have, if you don't know, there is something behind your thoughts, you will never look into it. So that's why when you keep practice little by little, your mind able to recognize when the thoughts come, your mind able to recognize not just the surface level of thought, you're going to see the root from where it comes. That is where you can have power to uproot it. And the third one is Vipakavarana. Vipakavarana means whatever you have done in your past, that all that past actions already brought you to a result. So it is a kind of like the previous actions you already done. So the first one, Kamavarana, is there is a possibility in you today. Now you can get out of the path. But the Vipakavarana means whatever you already have done in your past. Maybe the result already on the way. It is not the action now you keep doing. The result on the way. It's like the electricity bill. And you already enjoy it. You watch the TV and the lights, computer, refrigerator, this everything happened already. But the thing is, The payment's going to come to you. It's on the way. So just imagine you get the payment and you don't have the money in your account to pay. What will happen? So there are some result, unknown result on the way within us. And that maybe can block us. So there is a solution for that also. And then the fourth one is lack of faith and the lack of confidence regarding the path. When you don't have the enough confidence and the faith, conviction, determination, trust, likeness, comfort towards your practice, towards this path, towards this teaching, that also make you lethargic person or lazy person or take you out. And the fifth one, when you don't have the interest regarding develop to profitable skills, always you comfortable with unprofitable skills, that also become a result to take you out from the path. So that's why sometimes when you practice meditation and you think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and maybe, whatever the unprofitable skill, you just keep practice. But always, if you cannot do it overnight, but little by little, if you push yourself to tune into to profitable skill, develop the profitable skills and get out of the unprofitable skills, and that will help you to develop your liberation. And the sixth one is the wisdom. So when we get into this path, walking in this path, practicing in this path, there is a wisdom. The moment by moment, the recognition and understanding, develop the clarity according to the necessary environment and the conditions in that very moment. And another thing is the wisdom here, recognizing very clearly with the moment of experience. Remember this very carefully. With the moment of experience, come out of the necessary conditions and environment in this right now, right here, each and every moment. Seeing and recognizing impermanence, see, and unsatisfactory nature or the misery, and impersonality, selflessness. If you recognize these three qualities within whatever the experience you have, that always take you to the wisdom or the liberation. But just imagine, there is experience come to you, you take this experience as you. You take that experience as permanent. You take that experience as complete joy and satisfaction. Then what will happen? Again and again, you start to go that way. So that's why here called the panya. The moment by moment, you have to develop the wisdom to understand impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. And it's like this, that the bending machine, you can see whatever they are, but just kicking it to it, you cannot get what you want. You have to put the money. If it is only the coin, you have to put the coin, and you have to put the buttons. And then finally you have to enter. And then it will come. But otherwise, even though you see, maybe whatever the drink you want to get in that vending machine. And maybe you have desire to get it. And sometimes see the poor people, the angry people, sometimes drunken people, homeless people, sometimes they want to get it and they keep kicking to vending machine. By kicking, you cannot get it, even though you see it. The wisdom the same. Just you work, asking, dreaming, doing schooling and doing many things maybe. But you cannot get it like that. That's why here it's called the panya. To get into wisdom, to develop the wisdom inside you, there is a method. So all the 6 the blockages you can get out when you develop the clear comprehension. The moment of clear recognition. So that's why in the beginning you develop tranquility state. When you come to the tranquility state, you get into very clear understanding to see the perception. In that understanding, you will recognize how this perception, and you will understand things as it is. When you come to that level, with the very clear mind, when you reach to that level, and you deeply observe, thoroughly observe, and if you analyze that perception in that very moment, rather than holding it, settle down with, holding it, settle down with it, take you to the tranquility state. But rather than settling down there, if you investigate, look into it deeply, thoroughly, and that will show you the depth of this all is just the moment of happening. Just the moment of happening. That moment of happening, you cannot name as self, you cannot name as joy, you cannot take it as permanent. That is where, in the depth of your experience, you're going to recognize impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, and selflessness. That very experience in that very moment, if you're able to touch, that will complete your mission. That is the day you're going to experience your liberation, transformation, the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata chami sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idamme punya kammang asavakkayavang hotu sabba dukkha pamuntutu. This.